Well, then if he's the bringer of light and he's God's opposition, that would mean that God is the bringer of darkness. Now let's see them explain that one to us. And actually, in Roman mythology, Lucifer and Satan are actually two different entities. Where did their idea for Lucifer come from? Simple. They were reading in all of the pagan texts and going through all the pagan beliefs and everything so that they could rip off everything and create their own religion. And they ran across this horned hood beast that plays a flute called Pan. So we're going to make a devil out of Pan and call him Lucifer, who later evolved into be Satan. Why is the planet of Venus no longer called Lucifer? Light bearer, somewhere along the line, got knocked off, and Venus, the daughter of Jupiter and the goddess of love, bumped them from that position, and the planet was renamed. So now we call it Venus. He was actually considered a god of light. They looked at Lucifer to be a god of light and to get rid of evil and darkness. And none of the ancient Hebrews nor the early Christians associate Lucifer with Satan. Actually, most of them interpreted it as a meaning of illumination. One who sought enlightenment or knowledge. Now he's this horned beast. The Hebrews did adopt him into some of their ancient beliefs later, but he was given the name of Shehar, or God of the Dawn. Jerusalem literally means house of Shalom, and is tied in the worship of Venus, the second bringer of light. How pagan is that? How ripping off is that? And then a cleric Orgames, a Dominitus, or whatever, of the early Greek church. He was the first to incorrectly translate the verses of the Bible, referring to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. He's the one that incorrectly translated Nebuchadnezzar into Satan's fall from heaven. And it's nothing more than an ego trip, an ego that can be the fall of a mighty king. That's what that whole story is about. Lucifer was the devil? That was built up by Augustine of Canterbury during the 7th century in England. And St. Jerome made the matters worse by equating Lucifer with Satan. He was the first one to claim that Lucifer was a serpent in the Garden of Eden. where Adam and Eve had their transgression. St. Jerome's reason for the misguided and inaccurate translation was his hatred of an Orthodox movement, which had started in the 4th century by the Bishop of Cagliari. His name coincidentally just happened to be Lucifer Calatinarius, and the group he founded was called Luciferians, which had nothing to do with Satan. Not the slightest little thing did the Luciferians of them days have anything to do with Satan. However, St. Jerome hoped that if he linked Lucifer with Satan, that the Luciferians would be considered heretical and be abolished. There is no scripture source which defines Lucifer as Satan. The scriptures relating to Nebuchadnezzar became mistranslated into Lucifer and wound up as an angel who was cast out of heaven. Now, if Lucifer was here before their God created everything, including the angels, how did their God all of a sudden create Lucifer when he was here before? Could it have been Lucifer created their God? And that Lucifer is the true God? And he created their God since he was here before their God, and there's historic fact to that.